Hi, Julie.
Hi, Karen.
Well, hello to our listeners. I'm Karen Salisbury,
And I'm Julie Summers.
and we are still here, still talking. We're a heartfelt podcast where two lifelong friends share the wisdom and hard-earned insights that come from decades of life experience. And I'm going to read a song, just a couple of paragraphs of it. So, "Catch Me When I Fall," a song by Ashley Simpson. Is anybody out there? Does anybody see that when the lights are off, something's killing me? I know it seems like people care because they're always around me, but when the day is done and everybody runs, who will be the one to save me from myself? Who will be the one who's there and not ashamed to see me crawl? Who's going to catch me when I fall?
Karen, you have always been there for me, always catching me.
Well, thank you for that, Julie. And today we're going to talk about, on today's episode, about treating situations of addictions with care, the process of recovery.
Yes, I have I have a lot of experience in that. I'm celebrating on June 6th, 38 years of sobriety.
Well
And
done.
it's taken a village. Taken a village.
Yes, it has. Anytime that any one of us out here are going through any type of an addiction and we need to have assistance in our recovery, it does. It does take a village. Absolutely. We need our community, we need our friends and our family to support us as we go through it.
Absolutely. And, for a long time, I didn't even know what the issue was. It just was a lifetime of connecting dots, putting things together. Yeah, just putting things together, connecting the dots. I started drinking when I was 15 to I didn't know at the time, but I always had low self-esteem that I've shared about in an earlier episode. Self-esteem, low self-esteem, anxiety, depression. And when I picked up that first drink when I think I was about 14, it took away all that. It freed me up and I was able to do many, many things under under drinking. And it wasn't like I drank every day. It was just I was obsessed with the alcohol. I didn't even have to drink. Just knowing that I could drink helped me achieve a lot of things. Just knowing I could let my hair down at the end of first it was like on a Friday, and then it was on a Friday and Saturday. I was the binge drinker. Um, and then when I was 30, I had connected the dots. I didn't even know I had a drinking problem. I just knew I was comparing my life to other people's life. 30 seemed to be a big age. And I just seemed stuck and I stopped thriving in so many areas.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I look at it as, that people end up using many of the different vices that they may be addicted to as that crutch. And I think even individuals have used that term themselves, that it's a crutch that they use to help support them, to get them through things that they might be experiencing or things that they don't want to experience. And they use that, whatever it might be, whether it's alcohol, cigarettes, eating, gambling, right?
Exactly. There's so many different addictions that we use to try and fill up. I've learned through my experience that the drinking was just a symptom of underlying causes and conditions. And when I started learning that, or starting getting that piece, Karen and I were friends for we've been friends for over 40 some odd years.
Hmm.
So she has seen me through all of it. And the biggest thing that her and I had, like, she never had stigma. She never put me down. She never made me feel bad, or she just kind of accepted where I was. And she was actually the one that really got me into treatment at age 30.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. Yeah. When, as friends, as I've always tried to do with friends, I accept them where they are. But one of the things that I saw through the years with you was that the changes that were occurring. Yes, we went out, we went drinking Thursday, Friday, Saturday, went dancing. We had a lot of fun. We were enjoying that. But one of the things I started noticing was that the drinking was not just on those particular days. There were other days, and I started seeing how it was beginning to change your everyday life, the things that were happening, whether it was at home with the kids, with your husband, or at work. And so I never judged you. I did see that changes were happening, so I said, "Well, what can I do to help you?" So one of the things I did was I stopped drinking around you, and just started having fun, so that you could see, hey, see, you can have fun without a drink. And so we were doing that for quite a while until one day you said to me, I remember this so clearly when you said to me, "I want to have what you have." I was like, "What's that?" And you said, "The ability to not drink, to have fun without a drink." And that was when you definitely made a decision to change.
I did. And you know what? Again, at 30, when I went into treatment, I mean, I'd been seeing counseling in and out all my life because I always had the depression, low self-esteem, all those things. And I was always really hard on myself, and I was looking for answers. And I started off doing counseling. And between my counselor and Karen, I got into treatment, 30-day program, which back in 88, they had these beautiful programs where you could go for 30 days. Um, and so I was lucky enough to get in a really good program. And it took me a while before I really thought it was alcohol. Like I still didn't know it was alcohol. I thought I was this bad person, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get good. And Karen just always had my back, always had my back. And connecting the dots, you know what they say is, I came to, and came to believe. It was a slow process, but I'm here to say it's possible. If any of you are struggling, it's possible.
Absolutely. And that is so important for us as whether we have friends or family members or anybody else in the community, if you see them having an addiction, is absolutely don't look at them with any stigma, no negativity. Just look at the situation and see and ask yourself, what can you do to help? Is it giving them information? Is it giving them guidance? Is it just being there for support? And don't be concerned with like, oh, am I the enabler? I mean, don't buy them the booze or the
Yeah.
cigarettes or
Yeah.
get them the gaming ticket, whatever it is that they're addicted to. But it's, let them know that you're there for them if they need to talk, if it's just even being in the room with them, and stay quiet, just to let them know that you're there. Be on the
It,
phone, have a conversation.
it's so true. I love being in sobriety. I love being sober. When I was 30, I started losing things myself mainly. I was always a good worker. I started losing the ability to, I mean, I got temp jobs, so I didn't have to become, I could just come and go as I pleased. As I was a high functioning alcoholic. And even people would say, you don't have a drinking problem. And even my oldest son, I remember when I got sober, my two boys, one was 7, the other 14. I'd bring him to AA meetings. And my oldest son, even today, when I talk to him, like he goes, like, "Ma, I never knew you had an alcohol problem." I did hide it well. Karen knew because she knew me and she grew with me and she saw me. And so she knew more about me than anybody else. So yeah, so I hid it, but what I couldn't hide was the self-inflicted hate that I had myself. I really had hate for myself through my alcohol because I had it on a moral issue. And I couldn't admit I had a drinking problem because, again, at the beginning, I didn't know it was a drinking problem. I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't be the person that I wanted to be.
Well, Julie, thank you very much for sharing your story here today with us. And I know that you're being vulnerable at this time about this. So I definitely want to let you know. Thank you. So it's very important for the community to understand and support the recovery process of individuals like yourself and others, is to let them know, to that um, there are different resources out in the community, especially today. And they're free recovery programs that are out there for anybody who has any type of an addiction, whether it's alcohol or cocaine or any other drug, gaming, gamblers, uh, overeaters, smoking, narcotics, workaholics, even. I could have fallen into that, that's for sure. Uh, but there's different programs that are out there that are free for members of our community to be able to access and get the help that they need. So I definitely know that the community, the program that you went into, that was such a wonderful program. And I know I visited you there and stuff. That was really a remarkable program that you had access to. And then even afterwards, the programs that you go to, the Alcoholics Anonymous, the AA meetings, those are wonderful programs that are available. And they're pretty much everywhere for anybody.
Yeah, the Fellowship of AA. The Fellowship of AA saved my life. And what it does is, you know, it's true. It's a minute at a time, a day at a time, an hour at a time, a day at a time, one step at a time, one crawl at a time. And the Fellowship of AA, that's the motto. I mean, and you don't have to drink even when you want to drink. But again, it's a day at a time. And I went to lots of meetings, but I seeked other things too. Like I have my God, the fellowship, I got a sponsor. I've been in and out of counseling. Counseling has helped me along the way. Karen, I can't say more about Karen. I mean, I could definitely, but there's never. I love Karen. Oh my God, she was like, she was my earth angel, literally.
Well, thank you, Julie, and you are mine too, and that's what friendship is all about. Lean on each other when it's needed. And just to let other people know, in case they're not aware of it, that Alcoholics Anonymous, also known as AA, is a 12-step program and fellowship of people who come together to solve their drinking problem. And it doesn't cost anything to attend an AA meeting, and they are all over the place. And if you're not sure where to find one, go onto the internet, check out AA meetings, put it in the internet search, and you will find something that's nearby. They happen every day of the week, morning, noon, and night. There are different ones, whether it's set up for smokers, non-smokers, places where you can get coffee and donuts, different places, whether it's in a church or a school or some other facility. And there are no age limits or education requirements to participate. It's for individuals who are in need, and membership is open to anyone who wants to do something about their drinking problem. And the internet website is aa.org. aa.org if you want to find a meeting that's near you.
And like you were saying, Karen, meetings are everywhere, every city, every town, every state, every country.
Yes,
Uh, and now, since 2020, the pandemic, now you can go to any meeting on Zoom. It's all
yes,
available. And
yes.
and I'm here just to share my own experience, strength, and hope. So, for me, this is what I did. And I know it's helped countless thousands of many. But like there's no stigma here, no judgment. Whatever it works for you. If you think you are having a problem with alcohol, um, or whatever addiction you may have, there's plenty of resources to help you. Just pick up the phone and talk to someone. Just talk to someone. That first call could save your life. And another, I hear this a lot too. Again, this is my own experience, and I hear this, and I'm not judging if you're in a different place. But my experience too is I did not get sober for myself. I've heard it and I've seen it where people say you have to get sober for yourself. I was not one of those. When I was under the lash of my addiction, I felt so bad. I felt like I was, again, I always say I felt like I was a bad person. I had my own stigma about myself. And I didn't think I was worthy of, I just didn't have the strength, or that I guess I didn't have the strength to do it myself. My kids were my motivator. And you talked about, Karen, motivation. Um, and my kids' outside motivation was for me. Like
Yes.
I wasn't the mother that I knew I could be. I mean, I knew I could do better and I
Hmm.
wanted to better. And it took a while before I started doing it for myself. But in the beginning, it was for my family.
Yeah, that's so important that you said that because, yeah, we've had conversations that were not recorded about this important aspect, which is that you didn't do it for yourself. And I think that a lot of individuals that might have problems with addictions, if they did it for themselves, they probably wouldn't have the addiction. But they have an issue, that they may be experiencing, I can't do this by myself. And that another external motivator has to come along, whether it is about their family or their job, their kids, whatever it might be, to actually get them to seek the help that they need to have that recovery. And that is what it was for you, is looking at looking at the children and saying, yes, I have to do this for them because you could be a better mother. You had that capacity, and then you did prove it after you got sober. You did show the world and yourself and your children that you are an excellent mother. So that was
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank you. Again, with the village, it wasn't anything I did alone.
That's right. It's a
Nothing,
community, it's a village.
nothing I do is alone.
Right.
Uh, and again, it's a free, no judgment, it's no stigma when it comes around this. Mental health, addictions, they kind of come hand in hand. Um, so there's really no judgment. And, like the saying
Right.
goes, Yale or jail, it doesn't matter. It
Right. And when
doesn't
the
matter where
community
you come
understands
from.
that, right? They support the recovery, and people are more likely to ask for help and feel welcome. And I'm sure that was true for you too. Once you could see that there were individuals in your village that were there to support you, catch you when you fall, such as I was there for you, then it was easier for you to ask for help, to say, yes, I need some help here. I can't do it on my own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was so grateful. Yeah, 38 years, June 6th.
Yay.
And and I mean, at the beginning, I didn't even and I love to dance. I couldn't dance when I stopped drinking. There was a lot of things I couldn't do socially. I couldn't be around. I'm still very cautious with where I go. Like, I don't want to spend a lot of time around booze. I always make sure I have my own car. Um, and is the craving completely gone? I have to be honest here, 99.9 of the time. But that one point, if I put myself in harm's way, because it can come out in other ways. I can see it like my personality starts changing before the drink. So I have to be aware of that and take personal inventory. So if all of a sudden one day I'm agitated, I'm mad at everyone, or I'm severely depressed, or whatever that might be, I have to remember it's just a moment and that this too shall pass. But it can come as like I may not say, oh, I feel like drinking. It doesn't come out like that. It comes out with a personality change in my everyday thinking, um, and how I react to things that are happening around me.
Hmm. Well, like AA says, right? One day at a time. And I know I've heard you say, like 1 minute at a time. It's next moment. And, you got to be taking inventory all the time and keep your awareness there of what's happening around you and what might be your triggers, and avoid those and have control. Like you say, you take your own vehicle, and you are aware of when you're invited to certain events. Is there going to be alcohol there? It doesn't mean that you're going to stay away. It just means that you're going to manage what your approach is to that event, right?
Exactly, because as a recovering alcoholic, I can go anywhere. You know what I mean? I can do things I never thought I could do. I can go anywhere a day at a time or an hour at a time. Or sometimes when I'm off, I feel I just stay in. I do more spiritual work, whatever that might be, praying or picking up a phone and talking to another alcoholic, talking to Karen, like all these tools, like you learn tools, like it's a tool, you have a tool belt, and you put all these
Hmm.
tools in it. And and yeah, it's a wonderful life to be free from the bondage of self, actually. Get
Hmm.
outside of my head, helping others. It gets out of my head, and nothing helps more than helping another.
Yeah, that goes along with the fellowship of AA. Definitely, is you're all there as a community to help one another to stay on course, and it does. It benefits you tremendously when you are outside of yourself, when you are helping others, and that's very important. And I strongly believe in the fellowship of AA. Um, One of the things that I like to point out to individuals is how did I become aware of looking at when I saw you having a problem? Well,
Yeah.
when I was in college, I didn't go to school for social services or anything like that, but I did do several research papers on alcohol because it definitely existed in my family. So I did several papers on alcohol, teenage drinking, and then, of course, and then some other papers about alcoholism. And it opened up my eyes to the situations of what was happening with people and to our community and the different resources. So, of course, when I was in my 20s and I met Julie, then I could see that, you know, especially after like it was like 7 years or 6 or 7 years, we were like all the time going out and having fun, which was
Yes.
great. But then, like I said, when I started seeing some of the difficulties you were having, my awareness was there because I had already had done some, my learning, my experience, research in that area. And it still continues today. I mean, I definitely have gone to, uh, I've attended AA meetings with you, and I have gone to Al-Anon meetings. Um, and I think it's important that the community takes time. Each of us that are not having any addiction problems, go ahead and learn about this. Become aware. Uh, Research into it. It doesn't mean you have to get a doctorate degree in it or anything like that, but it's just like make yourself more education about it, so that if you have friends or family members that are having some difficulties, that you can spot it, that you can then participate in the support system better, that you can help them, whether it's to take them to a meeting. I know I did that a couple times with you. It's like, get in the
Yes.
car, let's go. I'll take you to a
Yes.
meeting.
You're off. Something's going on.
That's right. Uh, so that that's how you can be part of their community and help them more to recover from this, because everybody is capable of recovering from an addiction. They just need to put the
Absolutely.
work in. Yes, they
And
just need to get there and get the help.
never underestimate in planting a seed,
Yes.
and being a power of example. Um, like here, not drink, being a power of example. She didn't always not drink. In the beginning, she did, and then I got more comfortable with my new life. It was like a new life for me. Like my eyes were just opening up to so many beautiful things. Scary things too, but
Oh,
beautiful
yes.
things. So never underestimate in that planting that seed to people around you, not lecture. Believe me,
Absolutely. No lectures.
people that are addicted do not want to hear lectures.
That's right.
They will just tune you out. That like they see your mouth moving, but that's it. But
That
planting
is
a
true.
nice seed, you know, they might hear it later on, and
Yeah,
all of a sudden they're like, they might not even know where they heard it, but all of a
that's
sudden
true.
they'll hear it.
Yeah. So everyone's recovery journey is different. So we need to support many ways of recovery. And this includes traditional programs, medical treatments, faith-based methods, and other proven approaches. By offering different options, we can help everyone find the best way for them. Because, like Julie said, is that, this was her journey. This is what she did. And it may not be the same for you. So find what works for you and apply it.
And a couple final notes, you don't have to drink even when you want to. Reach out to your resources, get your village. And listeners, your stories matter, your voice matters. Reach out anytime. At our email address is still here, still talking at yahoo.com. We would love to hear your stories.
That's right. And so participate in your community and help build a recovery-friendly community. It takes time and it takes teamwork. And by using some of the local resources, create safe places for your friends and family to help reduce the stigma surrounding addiction. And I just want to mention that a couple of different types of I think I might have said, yeah, I think I did already say that there's many different types of recovery programs out there. It's not just about alcohol. There's overeaters, there's um, narcotics, there's drugs, there's and gaming, there's different types
Yes.
of addiction. So whatever it is that you might find that you're having some difficulty with, don't have the stigma. Um, you know, seek help. There are different resources available to you, and they are almost all free resources. So seek help, ask for it from your friends or your family, and as well as from your community.
Yes, please, if you're struggling, reach out.
Absolutely. So thank you, listeners, for tuning in. We appreciate you. We're still here, still talking. We're not experts, we're just experienced.
Thank you to our listeners. Again, we love having you. Your support means everything. I hope this has been informative to you. To all of you, please reach out again. We're here. We're here still talking.
That's right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.